back to our series of tutorials for Mountain Blade Bannerlord Online. The mod where you can play with hundreds of other players in a semi-medieval fantasy world with lots of enemies, friends, adventures, and hopefully a lot of fun. Today we are going to check out, I'd say, maybe just regular gameplay. If you already play this mod or this game, it might not be very interesting, but if you never heard of this game before, I think this video will give you a little bit of insight in what makes the Mountain Blade series so unique compared to other RPG games. So in the mod, there isn't a huge amount of things to do right now. You can attack and kill these NPCs, computer players. So these looters, the number represents how many there are of them. So here we have 3 of these looters, and they go up to 45, I think is the max of a stack. If they have a different shield, color, and symbol, you see these are forest bandits. They have bows, so they are ranged troops, whereas these are peasant bandits. They throw rocks, and they have just peasant serf uprising, revolting kind of tools, pitchforks, clubs, hammers, that kind of stuff. So I guess you have to imagine that the land of Coloradia, this fantasy world, is in revolt. There is an empire in the middle, these purple colors, which are split up into 3 different factions. Then you have your desert, Arab, bandit, horse archer cultures. You have your Han, Mongol, Mayagar, Hungarian kind of horse archer, Eastern culture. In the north you have the, what are they called? Your Sturgian Vikings, Northmen. You have your Battanian forest, kind of Breton, Battanian forest, mountain dwellings. And then in the west you have the Vlandians, which are Frankish, British, English, Western European knight, regular medieval culture. So I guess you can fight different sort of troops, but basically you just move around and imagine there's a huge civil war with different clans, and you gain items, experience, and money from that. So that's basically what you do. So grinding is a big part. Here are under these brown yellow birds, these are other players. Jakobar and Warrior are other players. That doesn't happen in the regular game. Here comes another player. So I don't only have my hero with weapons and horses, I also have an army, and I have imperial troops. So these are kind of based on the Roman or Byzantine Empire. They have different tiers. So these are tier 3, 2, and 1. The recruits are the worst. And if you have these yellow arrows, you can upgrade them to the next level, but it costs a bit of money. You don't need any gear or horses or stuff. You just need cash, and you don't need food in this mod. So you see my food counter is empty. All you need is a bit of cash. It cost me 2,500 gold each day, which is 24-hour in game, but it's 1 hour in real time. So I was thinking we're gonna go down from the town of Jalmaris with my army here, and just click on the map, and there will be a little red cross on these 42 looters here. Oh, he has 10 and 19 friends here as well, and 8. So the way it works, since I have more troops than they have, they will run away from me. If I had less, they would chase me and hunt me. So that would be a quicker way to catch them, because as you can see, my speed is 1.0, and the reason for that is forest takes it down and nighttime takes it down. I got a little bit of a clan bonus here, but mostly there are negative values. From 2 I'm down to 1. So, but they're caught up against these mountains here, so they can't really run away. And I guess we'll just catch them all these looters in one huge battle, since I am personally at full health and all my troops are at full health. So we will just have one huge looter battle here. And the way it works is these 4 armies now gang up on me, but the forest bandits, they run away because they're another sort of type, so they don't want to fight with the looters. And after 20 seconds, the battle starts automatically. If they are more than you are, you can pay ransom and get away with it, so you don't have to fight. And other players could, in theory, have joined up until the 20 seconds have passed and help. Okay, now I'm going to position my infantry in the front ranks and my ranged archers behind. And since it's nighttime, it's a little bit hard to see here. If you press shift, you zoom in so you can see all these looters. Here they come, and they're gonna throw a lot of rocks on me, and just have to grab one of them. Here's one, and smack him in the back. Okay, that's 1 out of 80. Oh, die you bastard. Yeah, so I got a bunch of them chasing me here now. Okay, let's see if I can. Oh, there we go. Another one falls, bites the dust. Okay, I don't want to go into that bunch of looters because pitchforks hurt if you ride into them. Okay, so how's it going here? We got some losses on the right top side. You can see that I get losses. Each red notification means one of my troops is down. It's not dead, it could be wounded. Watch out for the trees. And oh, another looter is down. Yeah, so I'm not a bastard. I might be a sellsword, a scoundrel, cheapskate, a coward, but I'm not a bastard. Oh, 14 damage, that's it. Boom. Right. So let's pull these guys down to my main army back here. It's for me on horse mounted combat. It's easy for me when there are no trees. So, and why I'm doing this, well, it will depend. For you, it won't be the same as for me. Oops, watch, that's not good. But I want to gain experience on riding my horse and swinging my two-handed sword. So I won't get any experience on leadership on this character because that's at the maximum, and I won't get in athletics. I only get in riding horse, mounted combat, and two-handed weapons. Now, we won this combat, and I get a lot of loot, and I can grab it all. It doesn't say how much it weighs, but I only carry 39 under 252 maximum, and after I'm up to 89, so I can grab everything. Most of it, all of it is cheap crap. Now, after the combat, we noticed that out of my 110, 7 actually died in this combat. 7 were killed permanently. I also have 11 double wounded troops, meaning 11 of my troops were wounded, and they will return to my army. So I have 103, 92 are healthy, and 11 are wounded. I don't know how they travel, that's not my concern. I can upgrade 5 of these Imperial Infantrymen, and if you hold down Shift, you upgrade 5 at a time. So I hold down Shift and I press once, so that's 5 and 10. I'll take 5 infantry and 5 archers. So I got 15 upgrades, and that will cost me 3,500 gold. That makes my army a little bit better, but on the other hand, we lost 7 troops permanently, so that's not great. I wonder if we should attack. Let's attack this 37 forest bandits, the range ones, so you can see how that works. But basically, it would have been a lot better if recruits died because they're very cheap. I don't know. I can't tell you what troops I lost. But hopefully we lost mostly cheap recruits and low tier troops. We could always pop into the city of Jalmaris. Okay, there I paid my upkeep, 2,600. That's because night is now turning into day, so it's dawn and the sun is rising in the east. So how do I watch the sun? Well, that's how it goes anyway. You can move the camera around like this. So now we're gonna fight the ranged guys, and I suppose this battle will be a little bit different because now, okay, it's the same map. There's a bunch of different combat maps, so the terrain turns out it's the same. But I will tell my my infantry to put up a shield wall. So they will raise their shields, okay, protecting them from arrows. Okay, I already lost one guy. Oops. I'm missing. I don't know. Probably should let my infantry advance up to, well, actually they are. Sorry, it's a bit hard. I noticed it. I'm taking a lot of losses here. That's a lot of losses. I suppose it's my shieldless recruits that are mostly dying. It would appear that the recruits are the ones that are taken out of combat because they don't have a shield, the recruits. Whereas my infantrymen have a lot of arrows on their shields. Okay, you get a little bit of better loot here, a longbow, that's worth 600 gold. But the rest is really bad as well here. But you get a bit more cash from taking out the... I mainly wanted to show you how combat with forest bandits. Alright, did we get any more upgrades? Sure. We gained 1 Imperial Recruit. Now we can upgrade to an Imperial Archer, for example. Imperial Archers will only upgrade to Imperial Trained Archers. And we got 2 more infantrymen that can be trained infantrymen. So that will cost us only 1,700. We now have 17 wounded. A total of 98. So we are 12 troops down from the maximum. So I'll show you how to recruit troops. So you get a grasp on that. Because part of grinding troops, fighting, is buying or recruiting new soldiers for your army. It doesn't matter if you have 5 soldiers or 100 soldiers maximum, because the principle of playing is the same. So if you're a new player, you will be doing the same thing that I'm doing now. It's just that I have a larger army and I'm fighting larger stacks of enemies, and everything is on a upgraded scale, but it's exactly the same activities that you do. So if you're watching this and you just want a general grasp of what is it that you do when you fight in this game, when you play PvE troop grinding. So you go into the town surroundings, and there will be soldiers standing around. Most of them will be recruits, and they're the cheapest. They cost you 80 gold or denars. So let's grab this guy here. For example, Imperial Recruit. Talk, you press F and you talk to him, and it says for 80 gold I'm ready to hit the road with you. So you hire him, and now he's in my army. Here there's 4 of them. So that will be 4 times 80, 320 gold. Let's grab this guy here as well. I basically want to, what I like to do is I like to fill up my army. Yes, it makes me slower on the map a little bit, but okay, so here's another guy, the guard commander. Now so that didn't work. Sorry, sometimes it seems the game doesn't register your upgrades, so you have to do it again. It doesn't. Okay, there it goes. So we can ask guard commander here. I heard that you're offering well-paid job. Sure. What kind of fighters are you into? He needs a garrison for a town, you know, watching the gate and the walls and the city. What kind of fighters are you interested in? I'm reinforcing the city security and I need experienced warriors. Bring me 4 Imperial trained infantrymen and you'll get 4,000 gold. No, well, I'm not interested, but I don't want to do this quest. But if I make a deal with him and I say I want to refuse your assignment, I can get a new one. And I can ask him 3 times every hour. So I'll ask him again. 5 Imperial trained infantrymen for 8,000. That's a little bit better, but no, I'm not going to accept that. I'm going to refuse that. Let's see what the last offer is. What kind of fighters are you interested in? 3 Imperial veteran archers for 11,500. That's a lot of money, right? But I think I could get a better offer somewhere else. So I'm not going to give him those troops. So that's one way of making a little bit of extra money, talking to the guard commander and selling him troops. Okay, so let's check out this Imperial infantryman. So that's a tier 2. He's 1 tier above recruits, but he cost 451 gold to hire. Oh, you say that's a lot more than 80, isn't it? Yes. So sure, I can afford it, I can do it, but as a new player, I wouldn't recommend you recruiting these more expensive ones. You'd rather level up the recruits. And okay, now it's grayed out. That's because my army is full. So when I recruit these 2, I'm going to be back up to 110, although 12 are still wounded. Yeah, let's not sell off loot to the artisan yet. So that. Okay, and we now have 12, 17, and 14, and 8 troops down there. Well, we might as well go down there and attack those guys, because we can stack them up into one single army and attack them all at once. We're not gonna check exactly how much riding skill, but I am at 92, and when I get 7,290 experience points, I'm gonna increase to 93. So basically what I'm doing by inflicting damage while riding a horse, I gain riding experience. And I'm also using a two-handed weapon, and when I inflict damage, the more damage the better. The faster, the more people I kill personally with my hero, the more XP I gain for two-handed. So let's set these guys up. You can also select your ranged troops and tell them to go into loose formation. I couldn't tell you what key combination, but there's a certain F function key combination you press. That means they spread out a little bit. I hear they're supposed to be a little bit more efficient that way. I think it's mostly if they are under fire from other ranged characters that's a better, but maybe they shoot a little bit better as well. I mean, sure, I want to level up my army, so I get a better army, but that will give me more upkeep, which I don't like, so... I'm just basically riding in a circle here and picking them off if they get out of the... Oh, I missed. Not... Okay, that little pine tree stopped my powerful war steed. Ouch. A lot of green, not a lot of red. I don't know if we took any losses. If you press tab, I don't think we took any losses at all in this combat. That's a very good combat. That's what we want to see. No losses, no wounded, no killed, no nothing. So even, okay, we get a lion template. That's a bit of a rare, unique loot. But otherwise, you get very bad peasant armor. Get very bad peasant weapons. You get an occasional rugged gambeson, which is worth a little bit of money. Oh shit, I didn't loot that. I lost all that. because I didn't transfer it into my inventory. Well, it's a very little concern because it's so useless, that loot. Now, around the starting town of Zeonica, you will find looter stacks that are 1 to maybe 5. If you go up a little further towards Jalmaris, you will find stacks that are up to maybe 20. So you start up a couple of hours around Zeonica, and once your army is around, I don't know, 10, 15, 20, you can move on to Jalmaris and you can find a bit larger stacks. If you go into the tavern, I mean, at the beginning of the game, you're a bit limited to where you can go on the map, because you will be run, if you have less than 20 soldiers in your army, these 20 soldiers will hunt you and chase you. They will be slower than you, but they will try to catch you. If they catch you, you can fight them, or you can pay them off a ransom. The ransom is 50 gold per soldier, so this would be 50 times 20, 1,000 dinars, which might not sound a lot to me, who played a lot, but to you as a new player, you don't want to pay them thousands. You might have to fight them. If you're severely outnumbered, you might take losses, and that's not a good grind. Right. So what you can do is, when you visit a town, you can go into the tavern, and in the tavern there's a shady character called the Thief. I mean, we as sellswords of Caloradia, we ought to be familiar with the rascals and the scum of the earth here, but we're gonna talk to the Thief, and he could give us a quest. It costs 100 gold, and he can tell us that we should find a hidden chest of the escaped merchant in Hertogea. Okay, Hertogea is yellow here, as you can see in the quest. That means you can click Hertogea, and Hertogea has a culture empire, which means this quest is rather close. It's in the general vicinity of where we're out adventuring here now. So you can see that on the picture here. And if you click this track button here, you can actually find this little village on the map quite easily. So that's what I recommend you to do, to mark it on the map, leave the tavern, scroll out a bit, and this white dot tells you here is Hertogea, the village. So if I move up there, we know that there should be a chest with hidden merchant goodies in it. Is this a great quest? No, it's not. It's a very little small probability that there will be anything useful in the quest, but it doesn't cost anything, and since I'm grinding, I might as well combine this with doing either helping villagers to sell grain, which gives you a couple of thousand of dinars, or find the hidden chest, which, if you're lucky, you can get good loot, but you need to be very lucky, and I'm not, so most of the time it's just useless. And I might as well head up to Hertogea, and if it's very, very far, I just cancel the quest and retake it again the next time I'm in a town. And another bonus is, for every 20 looters or enemies you kill, you gain 1 influence. An influence you donate to your clan, or you sell it to a clan by temporarily joining it, or you can actually trade it in for troops now in the Frostlands in the very north, up here in the icy wastes of the north. So influence is very useful. I recommend you to do your 3 influence quests each day, but there will be a separate tutorial video about influence and stuff like that. Quests, influence quest. We got a 42 stack here. That looks juicy. So if I hover over it, I see it has a speed of 2.1, and my speed is 2.2. So because I have clan bonus, because I'm a human, these AI NPCs will be slower, and now it has lowered. They get tired, so their speed will lower and lower and lower until you can catch up with them, even though you have more troops than they have. You can also press Alt for more information. You can also press left Alt to follow them. I mean, you only have to left click them to attack them. And again, we have 20 seconds to decide what we're gonna do. We can wait for more stacks or play friendly allies to join, and then we attack and we get into the battle. Okay. And it changed to the very exciting battle music. We're gonna put up our infantry line in the front. We're gonna put up our archers in the back. We're gonna tell our archers to archers to. I'm not scatter. I'm not great at the commands, as you can tell. You don't have to be fighting looters really, since my army would easily kill these guys, even though it's not very strong. Watch out for those pitchfork armed peasants. Ouch. I took a pitchfork to the knee. That's not good. I saw some red there. That's not good. Let's get into the melee here. Let our deadly two-hand sword teach these peasant bandit looters. There we go. Battle 1. And because we fought 42 looters, we gained 828 gold and we gained 2 influence. So 40 divided by 20 is 2. So we found a luxury imperial chair. That's a rather rare item. I used to sell for maybe 1, 2, 3,000 gold, but now you can see it for around 10,000. I had plenty of those in my clan also. I'm not very excited, but it would be an item that you occasionally can find and sell on the market for a good amount of gold as a new player. Okay, we're heading up to Hertogia, the village. I'm sorry for my pronunciation, obviously. I guess they would be talking some sort of quasi-Latin in the Empire. The castles are not implemented into the multiplayer mod. So there's nothing you can do except hide there. But every village is implemented. So I could go here and I could farm. I could talk to the village elder, the village chief, and he could give me a quest, a job to farm. But that is not something I want to do. That's a very, very beginner player activity. But then I would enter the village here. So we're going to head up to Hertogia. And all villages produce grain at the moment. In the base game, you have different resources produced in different villages. But for now, almost all villages produce grain. And it's kind of pointless. Then you have occasional wood villages that are an exception. You can go there, you can chop wood, and you can order wood from other players chopping wood. So it's the start of a player-driven economy. But Hertogia was one of these boring old what's it called again? Grain villages of no interest. And if you Google hidden chest merchant village Bannerlord online, there will be a 3-minute YouTube video there for you to watch where exactly the chests of the hidden merchant chests are located in the village. There are only 5 possible locations for them to be, and once you learned them, it's quite easy to remember them. Now, if we find the chest at one of the first locations, we might not see the other ones, but one is up there in the mountains, in the little cleft up there by the top of my helmet. 2 of them are around houses in here in the village, and 2 other locations, the last 2 of 5, are on the other side of the river. So let's check over here first. Okay, we were very lucky. We found the chest on the first location. So now you don't get to know where the other 4 locations are, but it's possible to find that on YouTube. So there's a hidden chest here, and we're gonna open. You have to dismount your horse to open it, unfortunately. And inside it we have a velvet. That is very good. That is basically the best loot you can hope for, or almost. This sells for around 150,000 right now. It has been 100, has been 200,000. So that's a huge find, especially if you're a new player. If you sell this for 150,000 gold, that's great money. But I'd say it's at the max 1 chest out of 10. I'd say more 1 out of 15 or 1 out of 20 that contains the velvets. So we were exceptionally lucky now. So don't count on finding velvet a lot. What is it used for? It's used to create banners for clans. So it's high-end cosmetic items worth a lot of money. And we found 2 weapons which are basically worthless, and 1 piece of armor. No, 3 pieces of armor that are basically worthless. And there's always a trader's book. If I return this to the town where the quest originated, I get, I don't know, 2,000-3,000 gold. So it's not a you could throw this away and don't get the money and take a new quest. Because basically what you're out for is being lucky to gain a high-end item, weapon. You can find high-end or medium-end weapons and armor, but this is not a good way to make a lot of money just to focus on this. But if you can do it as a bonus in your grinding, why not? I just got lucky and gained 150,000 gold item here now. So let's transfer that to the stash. Would have been a bit annoying if I forgot about that before we close the chest. I guess the chest would have stayed. Yeah, the chest is still here. So this time it would have been, you know, I could have re-entered the chest and gotten it. All right, let's leave the town. I think the chest will be gone now, and we can remove the marker from here to here because it's of no interest. And what we have now is return with the book to the tavern at Musaea. Okay, Musaea, where's that? So you marked Musaea, and now we see if I walk over all the way over here, I'm gonna get the reward. It's very unlikely I will do that. So I will throw the book away and grab a new quest from the thief in the city. Okay, we can see here there's an alliance between 2 clans that's been concluded. The blue stuff here is the global chats. That's everyone. A French clan is now recruiting, asking you if you want to join him. You can sign up with him. We have a trade channel, we have a clan channel, we have a combat channel, we have a local channel. We are close to Lageta, which is, I think it's the Western Empire's capital. So it has a, what do you call it, where you deposit things, items, storage master, is that what his name is? So you can deposit items there. Here comes Sir Long John with 79 troops and Snoob from House Lion. You can see they have 33 infantry and 45 range. You can see not what level tier their troops are, but you can see what kind of troops. You can see their speed, and they might have a group name. Now, we are not at war, our 2 clans. But if they were to declare war, I would be safe because I am within this big green circle around a settlement. And they exist around, they do not exist around castles. But if I enter the castle, like so you can't see, then I should be safe inside a castle. So I don't know what these guys are doing, but I guess they're grinding looters like I am. I see 40 stacks of looters up there. And if I click global in the chat, well, I can change to local and I can write hello lads. That didn't transmit. Safe travels, friends. Oh, there we go. I don't know what happened to the first text message. It got lost on the internet. We are now heading towards a Batanian culture because these villages are green. So if I would enter these towns, they would look differently. They would have different recruits. They would not have the Imperials that I am using currently. But you can have any troops in your army. It doesn't matter. My character is of no specific culture. You don't have a culture bonus as you do in the vanilla game, and you can role play like I'm a Battanian, I only use Battanian troops, I only live and I only fight in Battania, but the game doesn't have a design or a feature around that. There's no rules, so I could mix my troops. I could have troops of all different cultures if I wanted to. Alright, now I saw a second looter army joining this battle, but it was after it started. Oops. So there will be 2 waves. So this is the first 40 stack, but I will have to fight another one after this, which means I should take less risks so I have health left for the second wave. It's quite common that other alternative stacks join. I mean, if you know there's no second wave, you can take a little bit more risks, and it's just because 200 weapons are a bit short, so you tend to have to get a bit closer to the enemies, which means they can return fire. And okay, that's the first wave. Looking good so far. We took no losses and I took no damage, so that was a very good wave. That's the way you want to grind. Saves you money in the long run. How you make money in this mod, according to me personally, is many small trickles of not a lot of losses and many small gains. Okay, when's the next? Oh, wait, oh, I'm sleeping on the... What? What's happening? I think one NPC has... Oh, okay, he's been... Oh, okay, look at this. It's not often this happens. The game, the mod, is quite bug-free. Okay. Sorry about that. And now comes the next wave. The thing is, I don't know how large this wave is. If I had paid attention on the troops, the NPC stacks on the outside, I might have noticed that... Oops, that hurt. It looks like a, I don't know, 20 stack. So if you're a bit unlucky, you can end up with 2 or even 3 stacks of looters, like 80, 120 looters rushing your army. And even a very high quality army might take losses, and losses are expensive if they're high quality. So you don't want to pull in too many of these looter stacks. Well, unless you feel you don't care about losses. I do. Okay, so that was wave number 2. We have now killed 70 looters in total. Will there be another wave? Oh, maybe another guy got stuck down there. Yep. Okay, we just got on the bottom left of the screen. You can see that we got another looter joins defenders. Yeah, horse archery isn't very strong. Horse archery is really bad in this game. That's why everyone is using throwing. That's the meta of the mod right now. Okay, so we had another wave joining. We are still at decent health, and it doesn't appear to be a super large wave. So we should be okay. Now, why do I care about low tier troops and recruits? Well, if I have a lot of wounded troops, and if I become wounded myself, I will have to rest and refit and heal up in a town or waiting to fight. And that takes down my average XP and income gain over time. Of course, I could log on another character and play that instead, but maybe you only play with one character, whatever. So we had 2 wounded. Did 2 troops die from this battle? I think so. I think we started with 110. Can't quite remember. So we'll just level up all the tier 2 troops. When it comes to my recruits, I have to choose whether they become infantry or archers. See, I usually try to keep 1/3 melee, shield, infantry. So maybe half and half. Let's go with that. So that's 4,400 money. And this time it's registered. Let's see how long. All right. I think we'll leave it at that. That should be a basic insight into how a session of grinding in Bannerlord Online. You walk around on a map, you attack troops, you try to keep your losses low, inflict as much damage as possible, you level up, you gain some loot. You can now walk into town and sell all this loot, maybe keep some of it, move it to the clan hall, put some of these items up on the auction hall amongst the traders, gain more money, gain skills, gain a larger army, yada yada, improve yourself as a hero, become famous, and improve over time. So it's a long, persistent grind kind of game. It's not a slow progress, and you're not the hero. You are one of many fighters, warriors, clan leaders, or army leaders in war-torn Calradia. That's the kind of game this is. So I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something. Feel free to leave a comment or a like if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one.